Okay, we're live. Okay, excellent. So it was a good day today, wasn't it, Pear?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we had a really interesting day.
Yeah, we have 2 days of workshops these last couple of days. We
Mhm.
had a nice full class, and I think everybody really enjoyed what you taught them.
Well, they got a true
Yeah,
challenge, I
yeah.
think, and that's what a workshop should be about.
Yeah, so we're really happy that Pear's here in Vancouver at United Floral Inc. And we have a wonderful show coming up on Sunday, the gala, that he is one of the top featured designer. And so today we thought it was a great opportunity before it all begins on the weekend to interview Pear and ask him what he's all about. Um, I guess one of the first thing I want to talk about is really how you sort of came into notoriety by the big win, the World Cup champion in 2002. I think you were the youngest winner ever
That's true.
at
Yeah,
age 34. Is that what it was?
it's 32.
32.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
exactly.
So was that sort of the riveting moment in your Flora career that really kind of made things really just go?
No, I mean, winning a World Cup opens up all the doors around the world. So for
Yes.
me, I had started traveling the world,
Yes.
showing design, but that just, yeah,
Yeah.
was.
So was that? Did you compete multiple times prior to that?
Oh, I had competed for 5 or 6 years.
Uh huh.
Started with local competitions in Sweden and Swedish national championships, Scandinavian championships. I did Europe Cup also a couple of years before. So I had, I mean, through knowledge, you'd have to learn how to compete also to have a chance to
It's,
win.
it's true.
Because floristry is one thing, and competition floristry is a totally different thing, actually.
Uh huh.
Mm.
So when did you actually start um, pursuing floristry prior to all of this?
Oh, that was just I think I've told you before, but it was
Well, you need to
just
tell them.
yeah, it was just sheer accident. I mean, I always loved gardening, and I had the plan to become an architect, which you can see in a lot of my design because it has its obvious design features and shapes. But no, the flower part was just accident because at school, at the age of 14 and 15, we get trial weeks at different workplaces, and I
So
got.
this is like the European system.
Oh, yeah, European, I don't know, Swedish.
Yeah,
At
Swedish.
least, yeah.
Okay.
I can't speak for all of Europe.
Okay. Okay.
But we get 2 weeks at a time at different workplaces. And I got 2 weeks at McDonald's.
Did like it?
Didn't eat hamburgers for 10 years. I still warn you for actually eating them because it's not the best stuff. And then I got 2 weeks in an office, pushing paper back and forth, bored to death. And then I got the flower shop, and it was like, flowers. I mean, I was 15 years old and thought that was ridiculous. I mean, flower shop, that's for girls.
That's for girls. I
That
love
was for
that.
girls. But no, it just a couple of days and I had it here. It was in my hands. And I just truly enjoyed it because it's color, shape, textures, and creativity. So they asked me after those 2 weeks if I wanted to be an extra in the shop.
Oh, excellent.
And a month later, I was doing my first wedding bouquet. So
Oh my goodness. So you're one of those people that really pick up things quickly.
I became fixed quickly,
Yeah.
but I also had great colleagues in the shop because they just, pushed me and said, "Of course you can do that. You can do that. You can do that." So they built my self-esteem and my knowledge really fast. So it was good.
Okay. Well, I actually have a question for one of the first questions from Sandy Schreck. She's here. I have taken your workshop.
Oh, okay.
She says, "What product did your first boss tell you to put in every design?"
Oh yeah. I told them at the workshop these last 2 days. There is one product you should use in everything, and it's a product that doesn't cost anything. My first boss says, "Per, use a lot of the space in between the flowers. The air doesn't cost me anything, so use a lot of that, but use scarce of the flowers." So that's also showing respect for each individual flower because
Giving
they're
them
like
space.
first, yeah, giving them space to open up, to bloom, and also, I mean, in Scandinavian design, especially, we are focused on transparency because we need to create volume and size with less material.
Uh-huh.
So we need to be more respectful and also more technical in the way
Okay,
we
so when you
design.
say to create the beautiful arrangement with less material. Is it because there's not as much material available there?
No,
or
because
just
it's
economy of
shockingly
means?
expensive.
Okay.
I mean,
okay.
people in Scandinavia spend per capita more money on flowers than they do in Holland.
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
But the thing is, the flowers are triple the price in a shop in Stockholm than in Amsterdam.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
So I think that's where this Scandinavian style have erupted from, because we cannot use flower on flower on flower. I mean, Dutch designers, they can even use amphibious foliage.
No, this is true.
It's scarce to me, but everyone is precious for me, and that comes from sheer shop economy.
Actually, so your first boss was very smart to
Yeah.
give you this tip
Yeah,
about the
yeah.
value of space.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Okay, so your background then you really did go right into the flower business after you tried a few little something.
Yeah, no, I kept
You
on
didn't
working.
really pursue anything else in meanwhile.
Oh, well, I did all the degrees to get my mastery in architecture,
Okay.
but I was always a few persons before me too. So I never went into the architectural school because I did all the exams and all, but I was among the 10, but not amongst the 5.
I see.
So in the meantime, I kept on working full time in flower shops, as just doing it before I reached my goal. But then, flowers became my profession and my life.
Right.
And I don't mind it at all. It's been fabulous so far.
Well, I always sort of preach to people that whatever background that you have, former education, whatever, that if you use that with floristry, you become a very distinctly, you sort of develop your own brand.
Yeah, and I
think it includes your interest.
Yeah, and I think that's also what made it possible. I have not intentionally created the style, but it's very, very easy to see if it's a Per Benjamin design or not.
That's true.
Because it has some very special aspects, and that comes from my interest in both design, architecture, and then also color, which is always a thing with me.
No, this is one thing that I've always noticed with Per. It's like, I think you're a master of color. I remember being in Mexico with you, and we went to the market, and there were like just mums. There was status. I mean, there weren't a huge variety of flowers, but there were a fair amount of color variations. And you would pick up big bundle of status that was mixed color, big bundle of mums. And then you were, and some carnations, you were very happy. Yeah. Because you had colors to work with. Like you're not one of those designers that need these specific flowers. You can create.
I don't need my tropicals. I don't need the most beautiful rose. Give me mums, carnation, status, alstroemeria, all the basic stuff, then I'm happy.
And it's just your mastery of using those colors and mixing it in such a way.
Well, it's color and whatever shapes and design you do of it. I always say a true designer, a good one, can do wonders with basic flowers. If you can't, then you're not a good designer.
No, that is true. No, and you prove that.
Yeah, and sometimes I joke with colleagues and say, well, you're not good enough. You always need all those orchids and gloriosas. I don't need them. But I want to spice up my designs with them, of course.
And you would use them, of course.
Definitely.
Okay, so I have another question. How many countries have you taught in?
Well, I've taught or done demos or worked in over 80 countries so far.
80?
Yeah, it's incredible.
Oh my goodness, wow.
Yeah, I usually say I'm one of the most luckiest designer of the world because I get to work with flowers. I get to visit places and cultures, meet new people, and share my passion.
Excellent.
So it's just wonderful.
So with your business, because you basically travel, teach, you do workshops. So what is a day in life of Per Benjamin like when you're about to get started? What is that like?
Well, the thing, all days are different. So I can't really say that. But if it's a good day, it actually starts with some kind of exercise, usually a run or a walk through a new city to get in the vibe of it, and then getting ready for work.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you are very fit and you're a healthy eater. We've noticed. So you take care of yourself.
If you're going to work a lot, you need to take care of yourself as well.
No, this is very true. Okay, so what is the description or the difference in arrangement in foam or in water or in bouquets? Like what do you prefer? Like, do you like designing in foam? Do you like designing in water? Do you like?
Well, there is one single design item that shows if you're a talented designer or
Oh,
not.
this is good to know.
Yeah, anyone can throw flowers into foam. Anyone can dip them into water, but not everyone can do a beautiful bouquet.
Ah, that's
Bouquet, hand tied, whatever we want to call it. But I've never understood this with hand tied because you don't tie them with your feet. So it's just simply a bouquet. But a bouquet, I mean, that's the master of floristry. The bouquet,
Right.
that's
Right.
the thing.
That's the true test.
Yeah, I think that
Yes.
definitely it's the true test.
Okay.
That's when I worked as a teacher for many years. I always checked the knowledge of the students, how they did perform the bouquet.
Okay, that's good. So that's a very important one that you obviously go and teach.
Yeah,
Because
and I
it's
mean,
a-
I love
It's
making
a
bouquets.
it's a fundamental for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, every time I do them, half of my pieces are bouquets.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So many different styles you do too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's important,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah. So what is your favorite style of arrangement?
My
make?
favorite
What is your
style of
favorite?
arrangement. Well, I have to say that should be then the 18 gauge structured bouquet with a transparent appeal with a beautifully built out color.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So this is like what you demonstrated today.
Well, they got
Something like this?
they got to do a wedding design inside of a 18 gauge structure, but today we did this mixture of more architectural shape and crossed over with what I call Instagram floristry. The wilder, the more how should I say it's wild. It's not planned.
It's more organic.
It's more organic. But I mean, we cannot only do hand tied, so we need to get in the knowledge and the craft. So we did a crossover of that. So we did that structured basket shape,
Yes.
and inside of that we did that more growing.
No, that was lovely.
Natural thing. Yeah,
I love how the flowers are just cradled in that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
and
detail.
it's beautiful to hold
Yeah,
for the
the
bride as
textures
well.
are gorgeous
Yeah.
because you use some yarn and just
Yeah, this time it was
lot
all
of
about the
beautiful
different
texture.
white and frosted gray tones. It was a winter wedding bouquet.
yeah, exactly. So what is your favorite flower?
Carnation.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Yeah, I know. And it's not because I'm a humble person, because I love all kinds of flowers, but take a carnation. There's so much you can do with it. It's a hardy, sturdy flower. It lasts forever. It has all the color. It's useful. Compared to a rose is a diva. I mean, it usually dies quite fast, or it loses its petals. You can't do that much with it. It's decoration. Carnation is work, and build with it.
And there are so many new varieties. Some
Yeah.
of the colors, like
Yeah.
the smoky colors and antiques.
Yeah.
So are you excited about all those color those color
yeah.
palette?
This last spring, I visited a lot of growers in Italy
Yes.
just to see the new varieties that are on their way. And I mean, they got some amazing colors and also multicolored ones, but not strictly like white and red. These are salmon with a bit of yellow and honey colored together, or sand with a hint of pink. It's a lot of those beautiful colors.
Well, that's interesting because now there's flowers that give you that blend, the flowers themselves. But
Yeah.
I've watched you even using like little chrysanthemums and that, and this is interesting. Like I was really actually amazed when we were in Mexico, and you picked up a bundle of, like, I actually had mixture of colors of chrysanthemums that you really quite like the honey color.
Yeah.
And it's really funny because I always had trouble with the honey color.
Why?
Yes, I always had trouble with that one because
It's one of the most amazing colors because it had all the colors in one.
I find this out through you. But up until then, I look at the color and like, what am I going to do with that? It seems like such a sort of an ambiguous color but you kind
the
of
more
show.
ambiguous, the better. Because
Yeah,
you
well,
can go
there's
either way you want.
So
Yeah.
that is it. I mean, that is it. I think a lot of people look for that color, but just what you just said,
Yeah,
the
but-
ambiguous the color, the better,
Yeah, but-
because it marries into. That is so good.
Yeah, but people look for the wrong in color. They want a strong expressive color.
Yes.
Then they can only work with contrast. But
Right.
while you pick a multicolored, ambiguous color, whatever you would call
Yes.
it, you can just extract the colors you want. And honey color, it has pink, it has yellow,
That
it
is
has
so
orange, it have all the different strong and pastels in it, dusty, mauvey, everything is in it. So then it's up to me.
No, that is true. So it's kind of unifies everything.
Yeah, and that's how I usually work with colors, because I don't like the color circle. I don't like the color wheel. I don't like any other color system. So I've actually created my own.
So there is a Per Benjamin sort of like color theory, color.
There is a book coming in
Oh.
March.
Oh, it's
So,
coming out in March.
Yeah, hopefully, if I am
Yes.
finished in time. No, I'm actually finally making a book out of my color system, because I've taught this color system now for a lot of years.
Uh-huh.
Anyone, is there a book? I said, no, there's no book about it. Because it's quite simple, but I realized that we need to put it down into a book.
Yeah.
So there's a book with the humble title of The World of Colors According to Per Benjamin.
Oh, I love that.
That will be released probably in March then. But the
Wonderful.
core of this with my color system, that I don't use theory. I look at the material.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a flower head, or if it's a container or a wallpaper, I just look at the color and translate what colors is in there. And from that, I choose the colors for my design.
Okay, so you basically analyze what's present, and then
and then I decide, okay, what colors do I want to extract out of this honey-colored mum, for example?
Wow.
I want the pink, I want the salmon, I want the yellow, and a little bit of the orange. I already decided proportions when I extract it.
Yes.
And of course, I always try to connect. I'm always bridging colors.
Yes.
I don't work with contrast. I'm bridging, because when you bridge and connect colors, you have a lot of contrast within.
Yes.
But contrast is never the goal for me. Harmony is the goal.
Right.
Because the thing is, a complex harmony, as I call it,
Yes.
with lots of contrast in, keeps the onlooker, the public, to look more on the design longer, because they want to understand.
Right.
But if you do white and red, they've understood it in 2 seconds, and it's not interesting.
Yeah.
So talking about customer value.
Right. Longer enjoyment.
Exactly. And the longer people look at your design, the more it's worth in their eyes as well.
That is true.
So it's not only
More
got to
to
do with
discover.
color, it has to do with the commercial part of the design as well. So what we do, working with complex harmonies, bridging colors, there's more enjoyment from the design.
That is actually a very good point.
That's why I can't use the color wheel, because the whole context of that one is contrast.
Yeah.
A triangle or a square.
It's actually kind of boring to say, I am going to make a triad design today.
Yeah, and it's not created for florists.
Yes.
It's created for people that paint houses or do cars or whatever.
No, this is true.
So while mine, as I say, it's actually comes natural from the material we work with, the flowers.
So when did you come up with this, or did it just evolve over the years?
No, for me, it was not. The thing is, I never went to any official flower school.
Yes.
I learned by doing.
Yes.
And then when I suddenly got the opportunity to work as a teacher, after lots of years of competing and everything, and I did my craftsmanship diploma, my master, then suddenly, when I was about to teach, I was given this color wheel thing. And was like, what is this? And it just didn't work with me. So that's when I realized I did it in another way, which was natural for me. So I did the students, I taught them the color wheel for a week. And then the week after, I taught them my system. And I say, it's up to you to choose which one you think works the best.
And you find that the students embrace this very quickly, because it's kind of a lovely way to see color,
I saw much better results after they've used my system than the color wheel.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And that I've seen all around the world.
Yes. So that's pretty exciting that you are going to have this book out.
Yeah, I'm really excited and a bit nervous as well, because once you put it down in writing, it's there in black and white.
Yes. So you'll be doing a lot of thinking over the next months. Like, I know you mentioned that you got all the images, but now it's about just getting it down.
Yeah, I got all the images, and I'm trying to explain most of the theory actually in images. So I start with the photo of a flower, and then I have a design where I've extracted the colors out of that one, because we're visual.
Yeah,
we are not theoretical.
Yeah.
So I try to visualize it as much as possible.
Yeah, no, that's great. Exciting. So let's see. Tell us about the personalities of flowers. This is another question from one of the students.
Yeah, I also talk a lot about that, because, I mean, take the character of a carnation and the rose again. I mean, the rose, I say it's a diva, and the carnation is a hardworking man. But you have to always think about the character and the personality. A Gloriosa has its personality.
So what do you think is Gloriosa's personality? I want to know what you say versus what I think.
Well, I would say that it's a passionate dancer, probably more flamenco than ballet.
Oh, that's a good one. That's
Yeah.
a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. I always think of it as a very young and vivacious.
Yeah, and it's
Young and vivacious.
temperamentful.
Yes.
Especially the red ones. If you go the yellow, it has another personality.
Yes, that's true.
The yellow is
That's
more
true.
like a ballerina or
No,
classic dance.
No, I think that's true.
And in between you have the orange. So color always decides personality.
That is very true.
Yeah.
That is very true.
So
That's
we always
very
end
well
up in
put.
color again.
Yeah.
But, and even, I mean, different roses. Take a David Austin rose
Yes.
compared to a ordinary rose.
Yes.
They're different personalities.
No, absolutely.
Characters, call it what else. But it's not only textures and shapes. We have to add the emotional part of personality into it as well.
No, that's
So it's
very
yet another dimension that. So we end up, fear is one thing, but without using heart and stomach and emotions, we ain't gonna reach the top
Yeah,
when it
no,
comes to design.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's all this understanding that makes you able to express beautiful work,
Yeah.
beautiful design. That's then develops our personality as a
Yeah,
designer as well.
Definitely. And I always try to explain, because I say, a lot of designers say, why? I ask them, why do you do that? No, I feel like that. It's my emotion. Yeah, but there must be a way of explaining those emotions and feelings. That's why I come down to characters and personalities
Yeah.
with material.
No,
Or
that's excellent.
lines. I mean, take a Tifa line compared to just a bear grass.
Yes,
They're different characters of those.
absolutely.
I know they're
They're line,
shiny, matte,
but
fixed,
different.
and all, but they're different
Right,
personalities.
right. Okay, so is there something that no one knows that you'd like to tell? Tell us a little secret, because you said in our little intro that we will hear a little bit of secrets about you.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of secrets about me, and they should stay secrets as well. But secrets
Or something that people don't know about you that's interesting.
Well, I think most people, I mean, if they follow my Facebook or my Insta account, they would know most about me.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah. But I think maybe what a lot of people might not know, and we should all think about it. I mean, I work a lot, I travel a lot, but I also enjoy life a lot.
I've noticed that.
Yeah,
You-
there's
you
a
give
lot of photos
yourself
on my
time.
feet on a beach or on a.
Oh yes, we know that
contact.
you're enjoying a vacation.
You have to, I mean, where are you going to get energy from? If you give away energy all the time, if you're in a flower shop or if you work as I do, we give away a lot of energy all the
Right,
time.
right.
So we need to reach
It's a certain balance in your life.
Of course.
Yeah. So you treat yourself to some nice relaxation.
Yeah,
From
but
time to
that
time.
gives inspiration.
Yes. No,
Yeah.
that's true.
Mm.
So where do you draw your inspiration? Like, where are your favorite places, favorite occasions, or favorite whatever that really kind of energizes you?
The place where I've had the most good ideas is in the bathtub.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Because mine's actually in the shower.
Yeah, no, but
It's because there's a lot of thinking time, right? That's kind of like
Yeah,
it's
but-
relaxing
yeah.
and
but try the bathtub. You stay longer there.
yeah, well, that's
Yeah,
that's
and there
actually
you can
true.
also have a glass of red wine on the side and some nice chocolate. Mhm.
No, that's great.
But
That's
now I've
great.
changed the bathtub to a jacuzzi at my house, and
Ah.
that's inspiring.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Because it's outdoors as well.
Okay. Are there any questions? No?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, so what are we about to do with the show? Like you're doing like a panel show in the morning. It's going to be really exciting because we have Scott Hasty, we have Paul Jarvis, we have Tim Farrow, and then yourself. All four, like it's going to be a short panel sort of show, which is going to be fun because that's kind of the format of shows that we used to do in North America many years ago.
Yeah, and it will be interesting just to see the different
Yeah.
characters of the
So
designs.
do you do this in Europe, this kind of style of show? Does that happen?
No, because I have tried to change over the last couple of years. So we do more, more catwalk runway shows.
Yeah, you've been doing a lot.
Yeah, that I've done for the last 5 years and trying to convince more and more people to do that. Because I'm not so keen on standing on a stage working. I mean, everyone watching knows how to glue and how to wire and
You'll
how
be
to put things.
surprised. That is not true.
Yeah, but in general, yes. So I'm more on the entertaining, educational side.
Uh-huh.
So ready-made designs, more of an experience and explain. But of course, here I'm gonna work a little bit, but
Yes.
I always leave maybe 20%,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
as we're gonna do here. But no, I've selected one theme for my part,
Yes, yes.
and it's gonna be birch.
Uh-huh. Oh,
Yeah,
good.
birch in different both arrangements, bouquets, and
That should be very
decorations.
popular because everybody loves that look
Yeah,
right
and
now.
I mean, just think where we are. We're in British Columbia as well, so
Yeah.
we
No,
need that natural touch and
no,
inspiration,
definitely.
but with a different color palette to it.
Oh, this is going to be the fun part.
Because look at the birch; it's not white and black. It's amber, it's pink, it's orange.
Oh,
It
I
has
love that.
all those colors in the bark. So those are the colors I'm going to work with.
I love how you see things. That's pretty. I hope some of that rubs off on me because
Well,
I'm
it
not
does.
I'm not as good as in color as I am in certain other things. So it's an area that I can develop and I can certainly learn from watching you. So
Oh, that's good. Imagine I can learn teach you something, huh? Huh?
oh, there's lots to learn, right? So anyway, no, we're really happy that you're here and that you'll be sharing your talents on Sunday. And I hope there's gonna be quite a crowd here. We're
Yeah,
really
I've heard
excited.
so. Yeah, it's gonna
We're
be
really
good.
excited
I mean,
because
so happy to be back
I
again.
do want to mention that this is his second time here,
Mm.
and the first time was like just this. He's back by popular demand. Like you were just one of the tops that's been here to showcase your talent, and everybody's enjoyed it, and they've asked to have you
Yeah,
back.
I'm happy to hear
So we're
that.
very glad to have you.
Hmm.
So thank you, Per.
Oh well, my pleasure. Huh?
And this was a wonderful conversation. I learned a lot even in this short little segment.
Oh, well, good. I
So-
hope everyone else did.
Yeah,
Mhm.
excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Bye bye.